everyone. Day 3 of UTAS on Tour in España. You find us at about 11:30, midway through, remarkably, Cambridge United versus Preston in the region of Murcia. Hydration breaks, the first hydration break, I should say, just concluded. Tom, would you like to set the scene?
You've summed it up pretty well there. I would just add that it's really, really, really hot.
I'm not sure if we mentioned that in yesterday's pod, so I think it's worth repeating.
It's really hot. Media Dan's just walked around. He's got a towel on his head, which I think might be the best way to go.
He's sporting a bit of the Thomas Tuchel look, you know, from
don't say that.
From training.
Don't let Neil Harrison say that.
It is sweltering. Quick note on the game so far. I mean, we'll check in a couple of times, but first hydration break
I think
concluded.
the most interesting to know about the game is the way we've set up, which is 3 at the back. Or 5 at the back, tomato, all that sort of stuff. I think in terms of going into the season, probably that's the big talking point. I think in terms of how we're going to approach it. It's going to be 4, or is it going to be 3 or 5? I suppose. And yeah, we've started with that. I mean, Zach Bradshaw playing left wing back. You would assume that would be Perry coming in, but I think as near as damn it, this is pretty much our first 11.
Aside from potentially, I guess he's probably wants someone who. Playing in McLaughlin's role today,
yeah, we've and Heath has just hang on. I think Isaac Heath's just scored.
Heath just scored. Yes!
Isaac Heath has just scored from 30 yards out.
That was remarkable.
And guess who saw it? This guy.
Yes, he was here. That was remarkable. Did he give it away on the halfway line? Keeper came out, a little mix up with keeper and defender.
The keeper sort of come out and just fucked it basically, and Heath just rolled it into an empty net from 30 yards out.
Well, there we go.
That's soccer.
I was actually going to say, I mean,
I've never seen it happen before.
No.
I mean, a goal.
It's also the first time I think. I mean, that was very good timing from us recording the pod and seeing that happen straight away.
Yeah, we were umming and ahhing about whether to do this now.
I was going to say just quickly on the setup point. I don't think it's miles and miles away from kind of first team. We asked the other day, like, do you think he'll do 2 45s? I reckon he'll do 60 with this sort of setup, and then bring on like your Pellies and your Laveries and stuff.
I think it'll be 45 and 45.
Do you think completely different? I don't think we've got the numbers.
Also, because of the heat as well.
I mean, true. But anyway, my point just being that I think he's set up this first half as like this is as close to what we've got in the building at the moment for first strength. And actually, maybe a little theory that I've developed off the back of that is that we keep considering Pelly and Ball to be. Well, we keep considering Pelly to be a sort of deeper lying centre mid.
Oh my God, they're stitching this keeper up. Sorry, he's been
Pelly to be a deeper lying centre mid. But I wonder if something Harris kept saying at training. He was joking about needing a mobile centre mid. I wonder if he has. He wasn't joking. He has realised, that he can't play Pelly and Ball together in League One. I mean, he could barely do it in League Two. Let's be honest. So we need to sign another one there. But then maybe he considers Pelly to be someone who can play further forward, and he'd much rather him play in a 10.
Yeah, well, he didn't he? A few times.
A couple of times, yeah.
Last year, like Chesterfield away was the one that really sticks in the mind.
I think did he do it at Fulham as well?
Might have done it at Fulham.
Might have off the top of my head now.
So yeah, potentially. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily his role.
No.
But he can do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in terms of the lineup that we've got, I think if you're looking at Perry and for Bradshaw, then I think I probably agree that it's someone who's not here yet instead of McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much our first 11, I think.
I will say, like, just as a notable performance, not just because he scored there, but Heath has looked really lively, hasn't he, so far? Gets so much space out. He's a proper touchline winger. It's just been absolutely cleaned out there. It's got a bit of intensity, this game, by the way. Paddy Power picked up a yellow first half.
Bet365 sent off.
But
that's 20 plus booking points.
As a final point, Heath, Knight, Hadme. If we can get that front three on the pitch a lot, I think there is goals in that.
There's potential there.
Yeah.
3 good footballers.
Okay, good. Right, well, we're setting up for a free kick. We'll check out for now.
Yeah, we're going to go for a beer, I think.
We'll probably go for a beer, and then we'll be back.
As we check out and we go for a beer, we're probably going to score from this free kick.
Almost definitely. So consider it be 2-0 Cambridge, and we'll see you soon. Okay, here we go. Final part of the Spain trilogy of daily pods.
Trilogy, nice.
It is a trilogy, isn't it? We're actually a sort of surprise 4th episode with the Harris interview, obviously. But here we are by the pool. Well, Tom, set the scene, as you have done in every part.
It's really warm. I don't think we've mentioned that at any point on any of the episodes so far.
That'll be a surprise to everyone.
Yeah, by the pool, looking the other way for the pool.
Can't look at it. Too hot.
Yeah, I mean, it is warm. But yeah, I mean, I think they picked a great spot for this, I have to say. I mean, it is worth noting at this point, you know, without getting too political, what totally irreversible damage we've done to this planet when you turn Spain into a place which is basically uninhabitable because it's too hot. But yeah, look, we had a good time. So
we
it
did.
is what it is.
We did. Let's start with the last you'd have heard of us would have been about half an hour into the game, remarkably, as he put us 1-0 up against Preston. And that's the way it ended. Hard to ask this question for a pre-season friendly, but reflections on the game? Anything you took from it?
I think the main thing is that we saw the goal and we recorded it on the pod.
We went an extra step, really.
This
time,
feels like
didn't
a very full circle moment for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I think the first half is probably the one that you take more out of, and look, we are going to probably repeat a few of the things that we've just said because we've recorded the bit that just happened a few seconds ago for you guys. We did a few hours ago.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say too much. I would say the first half looked like what I expect us to look like against Wigan. Didn't think Preston were anything good at all. I mean, obviously, look, it's basically a piss up for their fans as much as it is ours, but I don't think they'd have taken anything decent from it. And yeah, I think the second half just, it's getting fitness into legs and that sort of stuff. And I know it's real cliche this time of the season, well, pre-season, but a couple of guys came on, like Lavery got some minutes, that's good. McConnell came on, I thought did well. Really loud player, I would say, as well.
He's on the pitch, you can hear him on the training pitch as well.
One thing I noticed, which is good. And yeah, I think overall, I suppose, again, we're going to really cliche it up because it's pre-season, that's all we can really do. A really good workout. Well,
the other thing we got out of it is a clean sheet, which surely this is the time you're building platforms in pre-season, isn't it?
Well, Don Ball said it. We built a platform last season, and it looks like we're doing the same again this season. Yeah, nice stuff.
I think you're right in terms of like the first half did have a sort of it did have more of a intensity to it as a game. I mean, Bauer got carded as well. There was a bit of it was pre-season, so take it with a big pinch of salt. But
yeah, I mean, getting booked in a friendly is quite specialist.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I don't think the game was played with a decent intensity first half.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we were stood sort of by the corner flag of the goal that we were attacking in the first half, and the one thing I noticed was Gassan was running himself into the ground.
He was,
even in that, and I thought, it's hot, Gassan. It's hot. Stop running so intensely. But yeah, no, you're right. I think it was exactly the sort of test that you want. I mean, the thing about pre-season is sometimes you maybe play against like a Cambridge City. With the greatest respect, it's basically at this point like a village level team, and you don't get too much out of it other than just coming through it with full fitness, which obviously we didn't do, unfortunately. But and then sometimes you maybe go the other way, where you maybe like a Premier League side or like a Premier League academy or something, and they're just simply better than you. Whereas this was like a really good test, not only in terms of like playing a competitive opponent, but probably putting us in situations which we're likely to be in at a lot of points next season. And again, you don't want to read too much into this because it is just pre-season and things will change a lot between now and the first league game of the season at least. But you can kind of translate Preston Cambridge as like a top League One side against Cambridge, which is going to happen a lot next season. A lot of budget chat, all that sort of stuff, which obviously always comes up when we're in this division. But yeah, I think it was a really good test, a really good trip, and I think just really well done by everyone. We'll come on to it as well, I guess, in a bit more detail. But I will say, quite good support as well.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
500 odd at the game overall. Some of those Preston, maybe the novelty's worn off of Preston fans who maybe done this tour more than we have. But I thought from our side, it sounds a bit kind of wanky, I guess, to kind of bang on about how good your support is. But away support last season was brilliant, and to make this like a real event and a real thing, I think was such a bonus.
Especially with only like a couple of months' notice, really, because it's middle of July. A lot of people have got plans at this point, and there was such a sizable following that it's just really good to see. I didn't really know what to expect at all. I thought it could be anywhere from 20 to 500. I really had no idea what to expect, and I guess we landed somewhere in the middle, about 200, I'd say, something like that.
Yeah, I can see one of two things, but not the third thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really good. In terms of performance, you mentioned him there, but in the first part that people have just listened to, we were predicting whether it would be two different 11s for the 45s, and it kind of wasn't really.
No, it wasn't. Was it 4 changed at half time? 3
at half time, which I think was Perry, Pelly, and Apare. And then obviously he had more and more joined afterwards. But I think the one I wanted to point out is probably McConnell. I mean, the second half did become very much sort of a game that happened, and the heat got to every single person, and it slowed down in intensity. And there was, it's a meaningless friendly at the end of the day. But the two chances we had, McConnell nips in another sort of defensive mix-up from Preston, which their keeper was playing miles out of his box, often it felt. And then he couldn't apply the finishing touch. And then the other one he did really well to get a shot off on target, skip past a man and put it on target. But he looks like he does have an opportunity this year, because clearly they consider him as part of the pecking order.
Yeah, I think particularly with Stead getting injured as well.
That's the thing,
they're basically occupying the same part of the pitch. He's a bit of a weird one, McConnell, just in that
And Kai, sorry, can I just say, he's injured as well.
Yeah, and Kai, obviously he wasn't risked. Maybe he was risked before, which backfired a little bit. So maybe we'll see him in the next friendly, maybe not. The thing with McConnell is, it feels like he's been around forever. It feels like we're going back maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6. In fact, he was sort of part of this, on the peripheries during the lockdown promotion.
He was, yeah. He's in those photos, isn't he, in the Abbey?
And it's a weird one with a youth player. If you think of a Hoddle or a Job or something, they come through, they break into the team, and that's them there. And McConnell's kind of flirted with being in the first team, and he's been given new contracts and stuff. So clearly he's rated really highly. But he's
different managers as well, different directors of football, plenty of people. Do
you know what? I think actually that's a good point. I think for younger players, I think that's actually a really positive thing, is that if different managers come in and they all value you, because we're talking now Bonner, Monk, I suppose we don't want to say Core, but Core, he was sort of interim, and then Harris twice.
Yeah.
Has come in and deemed him valued to be around the place. Probably not got the minutes he'd like. I mean, I guess his most notable contribution last season would have been he started at Barrow, which was the game that Harris has said changed our season, or he felt really set us up for promotion. Look, obviously it wasn't all Glenn McConnell. Probably wasn't even in a small part down to Glenn McConnell, but he was there. And you're right about opportunity. I mean, look, again, based on the evidence of today and what we saw him lining up with in training, it looks like it's going to be 3 at the back, at least to start with, which means that there's probably going to be 2 behind the striker, and that means it's probably going to be 2 number 10-ish sort of players. Knight will be one of them. Stead probably should be the other one, but he's obviously injured. Heath will be in and around it, but then that means that if you need to make a change, then McConnell's probably currently with Kai one of the choices to make.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. The game died down second half as it always does in pre-season when changes are made, and obviously it's more likely to do so when it's as warm as it is. But I think in terms of positives from our side in the second half, he's probably it. Not it, but he's probably the one.
He's the story, isn't he, in that sense? And I think the other story from the game, in terms of eye-catching performances, has got to be your man Isaac Heath, who scored the goal. But I mean, the goal itself is not much to write home about. You'll have heard it in the first part, a little bit of a mix-up from at the back, and then Heath kind of tapped home from 30 yards, which doesn't seem right, but it's kind of true, isn't it?
We have to get the old football cliches guys on this. I'm not sure you can tap it home from 30 yards.
No, I guess you can't, but you see what I'm saying? It was a gentle roll in from 30 yards.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Heath in general, on that left wing, proper touchline winger, always finding space there. He's going to terrorise a couple of right backs, because you can tell he's really quick, agile. Maybe, it's only on the basis of today, he got into some really good positions. Maybe would have looked back and think he could have delivered something a little bit better. He's a 20-year-old lad. It's only his second season in professional football. I think if an end product being honed is something that naturally happens. And actually, Adam Barrett said, I just read a piece in the Cambridge Independent that our friend Liam put together, where he's basically comparing him to Knight last year, saying we might just have to be a touch patient, that in the early part of the season he'll look good, he'll look exciting, but that end product, or the way he makes that final decision, is something that comes with time and experience and might just click a bit later in the season.
Yeah, I think you don't sign a player like Heath for him to perform well. Look, hopefully he will, and maybe he will, but you don't sign a player like that for him to be the man of the match against Wigan on the first day of the season. You sign him because you're thinking 1.5, 2 years, whatever it might be, you can sell him on for substantial money, and that's realistically what it is. It's a project, kind of as a signing, and that sort of sign that obviously I think as fans we would like to kind of make more of, if finances allow. But yeah, I think he just seems to have a lot of really good qualities. Energetic, gets up and down, can turn a man, can cut inside, can go down the wing if he needs to, and yeah, there's going to be times where you're a little bit frustrated because maybe the final product isn't there, but
I want to be clear, I'm not really criticising him for it. It's more just
I just think it's normal. It's normal.
Exactly,
I think the comparison tonight is a good one, and I suppose it'd be even more perfect if we'd sign Knight directly from Man City. Obviously, like Knight's story is very different 'cause, from the area and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of profile, like they are very similar in terms of like young players who maybe had almost like a sniff of professional football, getting a decent run out as professional footballers in like a first team environment, in actual like, rather than being like academy games. Like Knight went out to Murcia and Stockport for a bit and Crewe and stuff. Heath obviously spent a lot of time at Accrington, so they're very similar in that regard, even if it's slightly different journeys to get in there. But even already, and like even if you can maybe be a little bit critical of final product at times, when you watch that game in the first half and you think already like it's kind of unthinkable that he wouldn't be, maybe not the very first, but one of the first names on the team sheet for that first game against Wigan, which I keep talking about. But that's what it's all about, right? It's about building towards that exact game, that exact day, and he's done it. He's wearing the famed number 7 shirt as well.
Cambridge United number 7's lack an end product, but look exciting apart from that. James Brophy.
Who we had in the past? Ryan Charles. He won number 7.
Nice, yeah.
Didn't think I was going to say that. That was a bit weird, actually. That was kind of like a wow. Even I surprised myself with Ryan Charles. Simon Russell.
Simon Russell, nice.
Yeah.
Donaldson, obviously promotion season.
Someone's got to say Paul Wallace at some point.
Who was number 7 under like Calderwood years? Was Giovanni Brown ever 7?
No, he was 20. 7. Oh my God, I wish I knew.
Was it in that sort of era? I can't even think now.
Number 7.
Did Zelly Ishmael wear 7?
No,
17.
Zelly Ishmael was 20 as well.
20 as well.
This feels like a bit of a stitch up for me to really reveal like the sort of stuff that I just shouldn't really know and shouldn't remember. I'm quite good at that, to be fair.
You are. You've got.
I'm kind of feeling a bit until I can remember who the number 7 was in that in that season. Maybe it was someone that was injured.
Who was it in Bonner's promotion season? Luke Hannon?
It was Luke Hannon, and then before Luke Hannon came who? It doesn't really
matter.
Yeah,
that is.
Do you know what?
That's an aside.
Do you know what? At Abbey Stampod on Twitter,
Yeah.
or X as it's now called, you can find us on Instagram, or if you sign up to Coconut Tea, you can get this remarkable WhatsApp chat, which is great. And if you can find that, then please let us know who was number 7 in Colin Calderwood's era.
Yeah,
trust me, it's really worth the money.
We're probably going to get there in like the next 2 minutes. But yeah, I think just to wrap up, I guess the trilogy, as we can call it now. What are your reflections on the whole trip, not just for us, but for the side, and I guess what we've seen from training and the interviews and the game?
Yeah, I think it's just been really beneficial. I mean, obviously, like we've come for 3 days in Spain. I'm not like, imagine if I've been like, God, that was a bit of a waste of time. No, it's been great. Maybe you have to kind of separate it as, like for us compared to like maybe other fans who have come, or the players, because like for us, like specifically having done the pod and done the interviews and stuff, it's been really, really good. Like we've had really good access to all the players, and obviously thanks to specifically Dan, who obviously arranged a lot of it at the club and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think in a weird sort of way, it's been good. So much so that I would say that I almost don't want it to be a regular thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, make it.
Because I feel like if you do this like every year, maybe it loses like a bit of novelty.
Someone said earlier that apparently Preston have been doing this for like 10 years, same place, or like it's the same region, and they do it year on, year off for fans. So one year with fans, 1 year off.
I mean, I guess for the actual players, Harris has been very public and has spoken a lot about that Barrow game, because that was obviously firstly it was our first away win for a long time during last season, but specifically because it was when they did the Christmas do, and it feels like it almost sounds quite jovial, like it sounds like a bit of a joke and it sounds like a small thing, but I don't think you can really overestimate like the benefit of having people out of their normal environment. Kind of just getting to know each other, really, I suppose. Like obviously, like we've maybe not made quite as many properly new additions as you might like, so maybe there's less of that needed. But I think to integrate people like Gassan, people like Isaac Heath into the squad, Perry as well, like it'll be really big for them. And
the young lads, you never know, like the experience. Some of those boys who came on today, like
I mean,
Dougal and Hurd.
I think the reality is like you'll never be able to quantify like the benefit of this trip. Like you just can't. But I just feel like it's impossible that you could come out of this worse than you were before. And I think in a lot of cases it will leave us a lot better. A win is great against, like, I think, Harris talks a lot about standards as well. Winning football matches is just a really good habit to have. Like,
we've got 100% pre-season record so far. Well, 4 out of 4.
That's a real quiz. But yeah, I think just the fact that they've started so successfully, hopefully, it's hopefully a good indicator of what might come. And I think as far as pre-season goes, it's been maybe my favourite one. I think.
Oh yeah, I'd
Definitely.
say so for sure.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. I think it was the season after we got beat by Torquay at Wembley. We did play Ely City away in a pre-season,
That's
which
good.
for me is allegedly an Ely U. Group chats might suggest otherwise, but as an Ely U, watching us play at the famous Unwin ground was great. We lost 4-0. No, sorry, we won 4-0.
Yeah, who's we?
I don't know in that situation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
tough.
We won 4-0. It pissed it down with rain. Everyone stood underneath the tin shed, which is one of the most terrifying ends in football. This is a real tangent, so you can wrestle it back for me if you like. But basically, I think as far as pre-season goes, it's been great. There's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of additions to come, hopefully. But I think basically my reflection on the whole thing is that we look in really good shape. We've all had a really good time. So that's the real quiz. That's what it's all about.
I think that's a good summary of it. Those new additions, the other friendlies. We're not far off a season preview now as well. We're only a couple of weeks away.
Oh dear.
And then back to real weekly pod episodes.
It's also been a really nice tonic for me, I have to say.
In what way?
We obviously spoke to Neil Harris about playing them lot in the World Cup semi-final.
Peterborough.
Yeah, remarkable. Clark Harris must have scored another hat-trick.
Yeah.
No, but I think when a World Cup ends like that, and I mean, I kind of have to sort of turn the clock back to 2016 when we got knocked out of the Euros by Iceland, and then you look ahead to what you've got to look forward to with Cambridge United, and with the greatest of respect against everybody involved. You get knocked out, England get knocked out by Iceland, then you're looking forward to whoever our number 7 was running up and down the wing, and you're like, oh God, this is gonna be a slog. Like, there's no time between it. It's brutal. Like, it's a consistent cycle of disappointment. Whereas now, you come off the back of that, and you actually look forward to club football again, which is a different thing. We've been promoted. We're in League One. We've had a great time. Arguably, they could have turned the temperature down a little bit, but that's an argument for another day, another set of people, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good summary of it. And obviously, we've put all these pods out to everyone. If you listen to this and you're not a Coconut Tier member and you've enjoyed what you've heard, obviously we have our Coconut Tier subscription, which we've just added the WhatsApp channel to.
Do you want to tell listeners how they can subscribe?
Just under theabbeystand.com/subscribe. It's that simple. And you can do £5 a month or £50 a year. It's up to you. Throughout the season, obviously, there's going to be extra pods every week, all the articles, the WhatsApp group. Get on there, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. Tom's right to thank Dan, but I'll repeat it as well, and the club for looking after us so well and helping us source the interviews and obviously all the players. And
that guy behind the camera's good as well, isn't he?
James, yeah. Good lad. That's a little in-joke for him if he's listening. But I think that's it. I think we should probably wrap up, Tom. That's goodbye, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember how to say that in Spanish?
Gracias.